Welcome to this introduction to curricular alignment. Curricular alignment is an approach to curriculum design that optimizes the conditions for quality learning by creating an integrated system where instruction and assessment support the achievement of the overall program outcomes. This is a simplified overview of the three components of curricular alignment. First, we have our program outcomes. These are clear and measurable statements of what students will be able to do by the end of the program. We describe and define what these program outcomes are for our particular program. And once we're able to do that, then we think about what assessments will we have on our program. How will students demonstrate their learning of the program outcomes? And what will we accept as evidence that students have achieved these outcomes? Careful here to have a discussion about what good looks like for a prepared graduate and how good evidence has to be for this prepared graduate and not for an expert in the field. Once we've been able to define and describe our program outcomes and have determined how students will demonstrate their learning of those outcomes and what we'll accept as evidence, then we're able to work backwards and design our courses and those learning experiences that provide students with the content, the practice, the feedback, and the integration that make it likely that they'll be able to demonstrate those program outcomes. Here's an example of what a curriculum map could look like. It's rarely clean or linear, but often a web of complex relationships and learning developments or scaffolded experiences across a curriculum. You'll see at the top I have my learning outcomes. Once I have these outcomes, I determine where students or how students will demonstrate those across the curriculum. We determine the various places that students will have the opportunity to demonstrate evidence of the outcomes. You can see in this map that students also have a culminating final experience. This isn't always the case, but is in this one. Once we've determined our outcomes and our assessment, then we build all of these courses, making sure that students have opportunity to practice, receive feedback, reflect on these outcomes before they demonstrate at this final time. In short, curricular alignment occurs when you set a clear target for what your graduates can do. Then you design learning so that learners are likely to do it, and design assessments that check to see if learners can do what you intended. So why do we use curricular alignment? Because we want the time we spend teaching and the time our learners spend learning to be likely to result in the goals we declared for our program. We intentionally align our instruction and assessment across our curriculum because we recognize our learners are novices and require our expert guidance to navigate and integrate the curriculum to successfully demonstrate the intended outcomes. Taking the time to build an aligned curriculum demonstrates a commitment of the value of what your program contributes, both to your discipline, your field of practice, and your learners.